Hi YouTube, Kim here, and today we are going to go over the patch notes for the PTB. They were just released a few minutes ago, so we're going to read through them and give some thoughts on what we're seeing from the PTB, what to expect. It's going to release here within the next 15 minutes or so, so we'll be getting some live action, but we just want to read these, get these put out there so everybody can see. So the new killer is called the Mastermind. So even though we know it's Wesker, they're going to call him the Mastermind, similar to how Michael is the Shape. Um, so his new perk is Superior Anatomy. First one. When a survivor performs a fast vault within 8 meters, this perk activates. The next time you vault the window, your vaulting speed is increased, and it increases depending on what tier the perk is. So the starting is 30%, and then the max is 40. And then apparently it stays active until you vault a window, and then this has a 30-second cooldown. New perk, Awakened Awareness. When carrying a survivor, you can see the aura of other survivors within meters, so 16, 18, or 20, depending on the tier again. And then the auras revealed will linger after 2 seconds after you stop carrying a survivor. So I'm assuming this means whether it's hooking or putting down the survivor. So if you put the survivor down, then you'll see the auras as well. I'm kind of shaky on this perk. And I mean that because I think it's going to be really strong. And for those of you out there that have been complaining about the nerfs being super broken, imagine this perk with Starstruck nerfs. It's going to be devastating. As a blight and nurse main, I'm really excited for it, but I do feel for the survivors out there, especially the ones that are in the higher MMR that run into these nurses often. I think this is going to make the game a little unfun, especially at least with this with the nurse killer. I see it being really strong with a lot of killers. This is probably going to be a new meta perk. That's just my opinion, though. Next perk, Terminus. When exit gates are powered, this perk activates. When the perk is active, injured, downed, and hook survivors are inflicted with the broken status effect until the exit gates are opened. And when the exit gates are open, survivors will stay broken for an additional 20, 25, 30 seconds. Uh, I don't know how I feel about this perk either. I don't think it's going to be very strong. Um, I think that Legion's add-ons already handle this a lot better because it's affected after mending throughout the entire game, and this is only for like an end game build. I guess it would pair well for those of you who like using Blood Warden, but at the same time, it's kind of a niche perk. I don't think it's going to be meta by any means. Okay. Next, first survivor is actually Ada Wong. Perk wiretap. We were discussing this yesterday, but basically, after repairing generators for 33%, and you have to be repairing the generator for at least 3 seconds, you can activate the ability button, which puts on a spy trap. And it lasts depending on the tier, so 60 for the lowest, 80 for the highest. The auras of the trap the aura of the trap generator is revealed yellow to all survivors, so similar to like Blast Mine. And then when the killer is within 14 meters of the trap generator, you can see the aura. Well, everybody can see the aura of the killer, and it is disabled when they kick the generator. So it's going to work similar to Blast Mine. The only difference is once the killer kicks it, deactivates. Same with Blast Mine. The killer kicks the gen, it's gonna blind them, and then it deactivates. But you see the aura when it's active. You're gonna have the same aura with this perk, and I think that and then when it's kicking, it's deactivated. Someone said this would pair well with Repressed Alliance, so you can block the gen after you wiretap it. Killer can't kick it, and then anytime that he's around that gen, you can basically see him. I think it's gonna be a niche perk as well. I don't think it's gonna be super strong. It may come in handy for the solo survivors out there, those that need a little bit extra information because they're not, um, in a group, so they don't get the information of comms like most Swifts do. Reactive healing: when another survivor loses a health state in a 32-meter radius around you while you're injured. Instantly increase your healing progression by 25, 30, or 35, depending on the tier. Missing healing progression. So this, I think, is going to work in the sense that depending on if they're injured near you, if you're injured, then your healing is going to increase. I don't know how this is going to work if you're affected with like Sloppy Butcher, because when you have a healing progress, it goes down. So I don't know how that's going to mix. That's something that we would have to test to see if if it goes into effect, if it goes down. Low profile. When you become the last survivor, this perk activates. Hide your scratch marks and pools of blood for 70, 80, and 90 seconds. This will be a really good in-game perk. If you pair it with like Hope or Adrenaline, I think that would be an amazing combo to run. It's strictly an in-game build perk, which is it could be good for the in game if you make it to in game. The way the games have been lately with Survivor, I don't know many people that are making it to the end game as often as they used to. All right, moving on. New Survivor Rebecca Chambers. Perk better than new. Upon completing a healing action on another survivor, the target survivor gets a 6% speed boost to generate repair, healing, chest opening, and totem cleansing for 25, 30, 35 seconds. So this reminds me of Hattie's perk, the what was it called? The one where you blind him with a flashlight. Basically, after you've blinded the killer, you get a healing, repair, and totem cleansing buff. This is different, but this is when you're healing. So it's kind of repurposed, I guess, a repurposed perk. So it just doesn't stand out to me, I guess. Reassurance. When within a 6-meter radius around a hook survivor, use the active ability button to pause their struggle progression 20, 25, 30 seconds. When they're on a struggle phase, it also pauses the struggle skill checks. This perk has a 40-second cooldown. So this will be really strong. This is like an anti-tunneling perk. I really like it, and especially if you're like against a Bubba who's tunneling or camping, this perk is perfect. And I think you'll see a lot of this perk coming out. This will be like a new meta perk, I think, especially with all the camping and tunneling recently with the killers. I think we'll see a lot of this. And then excuse me. Um, New perk, Hyper Focus. After hitting a great skill check while repairing or healing, this perk gains 1 token, up to 6 tokens. Each token increases the chance of skill check triggers by 2%. The skill check curses speed by 4%, and the bonus progression of great skill checks by 10, 20, and 30 of its base value. The perk loses all tokens in case of normal skill check success, skill check fail, or if you stop performing the action by any means. So this basically just makes the gens complete faster with how quickly the gens take. I think this one will probably be meta as well. Similar to Prove Thyself. You could probably run this instead of Prove Thyself if you're confident with your ability to hit skill checks. Now, if you're like a couple people I know, probably not going to be the best perk. Probably would run Prove Thyself over. But if you miss a skill check rarely, this might be a good perk for you, especially if you're solo and you're working on a gen by yourself. Becoming new handy. All right. And moving along, so we got some new features. So these are streamer options. This is for PC only. So if you stream from your console, unfortunately, you will not have this option. These privacy options are available under the privacy section of the general tab in the options menu and are intended to help reduce targeting and harassment of players who stream the game. There's also, so first one is anonymous mode. It replaces your account name with your selected character's name for other players. Players in your group will see your account name. So if we're partied up, because it's us with a lot with my friends, we can see each other's streamer name. But if we get randoms in the lobby, they will only see my character's name. So like, I mainly run Dwight Fang. They would only see Dwight or Fang, as an example. hide your name. It replaces your own name with your selected character's name on your own screen. Elsewhere in the menus, your account name will appear as you and be hidden in your friends list. So this is basically like full on your name can't be found. Um, this will again, this is probably to help prevent the really bad hacker situation that are targeting a lot of the big streamers. Um, so I'm assuming a lot of these options have been implemented. I'm sure we're gonna find some more that are probably in tune for that reason as well. Hide other player names replaces other player names with their selected character's name. So this is probably for like YouTube videos. So people that record content or post clips, you can keep the people that you play with anonymous. That way, you can avoid harassment from players, people who see the video, especially if you're one of those toxic takedown streamers. um, Hidden matchmaking delay adds a short random delay when entering a matchmaking queue to prevent targeted in-game harassment. So this is again probably geared towards the hacking problem that's going on. I don't know if it's going to help, honestly, because I know that they're using some tools that allows them to, instantly target him. So I don't know if this is going to work. Now this will work with the regular person who's trying to match queue times, but I don't know if it's going to be any success against the hackers that are currently going after big streamers. Improve features HUD connection indicators. All right, so this is for internet problems, latency. The in-game connection indicator has been improved to show more detailed information during connection issues stemming from ping and packet loss. Ping is represented by a vertical bar icon. Yellow is ping is over 100 milliseconds, and red is over 200 milliseconds. Packet loss is represented by a double diamond icon. Yellow is 2 to 5% packet loss, and red is 5% or more. So let's let you know if you're lagging or not. Your own ping packet loss icons are displayed above the survivor list. Okay, so that'd be on the left-hand side of the game. Players are notified when another player has experienced severe connection issues, red for ping and yellow for packet loss. So I want to know what that looks like as well, but we might not find that unless we go into like a public lobby. For killer issues, a unique red icon appears above the survivor list for survivors. For survivor issues, a red bar appears next to the name of the survivor list. A photosensitive warning has been added to the boot sequence of the game. Okay, so added content, which we knew this was probably going to come. So we're going to be taking a lot of RPD maps. The Raccoon City Police Station map has been split into two separate layouts: Raccoon City Police Station East Wing and Raccoon City Police Station West Wing. Both maps feature new openings to make it easier than ever to navigate, wider hallways to improve gameplay, and are much smaller than the original version. So good to know. We'll see how that goes. See if we can't get both options of the map when we load it. Some bug fixes. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to drop too many blood orbs after performing some actions when playing against Oni. So if you didn't know, if you've vaulted or did any rushed action, slammed a pallet, hopped a pallet, it was dropping just way too many blood orbs, and Oni was basically staying in rage mode forever. So that's why if you were playing against Oni, it just seemed like he was super strong. That's why. Fixed an issue that occasionally caused the killer to appear in the survivor slot in a custom game lobby. That was a funny little bug, but nothing serious since it's in the custom lobby. Fix an issue that caused spirits and Oni's attack on Titan outfits to appear as body-only cosmetics in the store feature page. So I don't know what that means because I didn't purchase either of those skins, but I'm sure if I did like a quick YouTube search, I'd find it. I fixed an issue that caused the survivor to float in front of the killer when being grabbed while performing various actions. That's also a funny little build, or a funny little bug, not build, excuse me, and was fun to take care of. All right. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to be misaligned with the huntress when interrupted while vaulting towards the killer. Didn't play a lot of Huntress, so I don't know what that means, but awesome. Fixed an issue that caused broken animation when repairing a generator. I didn't come across that myself, but I mean, yeah, it's probably just like a visual glitch, I'm assuming. Fix an issue that caused a disfigured ear add-on for the hag to reduce audio for everyone, and not only the survivor that triggers the trap. So disfigured ear, reduces the audio for them so they can't hear you come in or spawn on them, but apparently it's affecting everyone. Fix an issue that caused the status effect icon to display a second time instead of the effect source. Fix an issue that may cause the Lambent configuration to become invisible after being picked up by the Cenobite. I played a couple Cenobite games. Bug never happened for me, so it probably wasn't too often. Fix an issue that may cause the Lambent configuration to appear on a push and be inaccessible in the Garden of Joy. So if you didn't know, one of the spawn points one of the spawns for the Lambent configuration was on the bush, and there were instances where you couldn't get it, and when you couldn't get it to solve it, basically you're an infinite chain hunt the entire game. Super awful. Fix an issue that may cause survivors to no longer be able to solve the Lambent configuration when picking up at the same time as the Cenobite. Didn't come across that bug, but also sounds terrible. Fix an issue that caused the shape to be able to use Tombstone Mori on survivors currently using the map key or clairvoyance perk. I played a few Tombstone Mikeys. Didn't run across that one, but glad it's fixed. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to be able to interact with the white cliff after breaking the mirror. I didn't have that issue when I did the white cliff challenge, so glad they fixed it. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to not receive a score event after burning the spirit's husk with a flashlight. I'm assuming that means you're not getting points for burning it like you should have. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to receive a burn score even after blinding the wraith with a flashlight while uncloaked. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to not receive progress towards medic achievement when healing a survivor using the For the People perk. That makes sense because I've been running For the People and I wasn't getting any points for it. I was like, man, I feel like I did a lot more healing than that, but I didn't realize it. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to gain progress towards Milk and Cookies achievement by opening a basement chest without picking up the item. I've had that achievement forever, so didn't notice. Fix an issue that caused survivors sacrifice the Executioner's Cage of Atonement not to grant progress towards Reverend Archive Challenge. I don't play Executioner, so that wasn't a problem for me, but for those of you that do play him, there you go. Fix an issue that caused killers to remain shortly in the falling animation after landing after vaulting from a certain height. I only had this happen to me once when I was playing Nurse on Midwich, when I vaulted through the window from the first floor to the second floor to the first floor. It's just a minor thing, wasn't really a big deal, but I'm glad they fixed it. Fixed an issue that caused certain survivor charms to be misplaced when repairing a generator. I'm not sure what that means, probably because the charms are on the back of the survivor's hips, so I guess it would be like a visual glitch where it's appearing somewhere else. And then there's two known issues that are going to be in the PTB. The Mastermind's tentacles glow in first person point of view. Very rarely the Mastermind bound stops working. So we'll try to find that out and see